of stuff. That's the feeling I want to have at this.
This is like a Kennedy family kitchen table,
Yeah.
but most people don't have this many.
That's right. It's raucous, it's hot, but it's fun. That's what it's going to be like. So this, as I was saying before both of you walked out, this is historic. So I hope everybody takes this in for a minute. To have a leader of the Republican Party and the Vice President of the United States. So let me begin with you, Madam Vice President. Did you ever think in your wildest dreams that you would be running for president alongside Liz Cheney, who'd be advocating for you, campaigning for you, a member of an opposing party, putting herself on the line for you?
So let me just start by thanking everyone. Thank you all for taking time out of You know, so Maria, perhaps not, but
perhaps
not. But let me say this. So you mentioned, you know, my background.
Come on.
Prosecutor. And most of my career has been spent outside of Washington, D.C., not in Washington, D.C. And for most of my career, let me just tell you, I never once asked a victim of crime, what I did ask everyone, are you okay? And when I think then about what is at stake in this election, I think that's the biggest question. And it is a moment we're born out of our love of our country, born out of, for me, having taken the oath of office to the Constitution of the United States at least 6 times. I believe what is at stake in this election is so fundamental for us as Americans. And it is about, do we take seriously the importance of a president who obeys the oath to be loyal to the Constitution of the United States? Do we prioritize a president of the United States who cares about rule of law, much less the spirit with which they approach this most powerful position? There's so much about this last era. When I talk about turn the page, that's what I'm referring to, like the last decade, that has been about some powerful forces suggesting that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down, instead of what I think most of us believe, regardless of your party affiliation, that the real measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. And so, for that reason, I'm not surprised that Liz Cheney and I are on the same stage 15 days before the election.
Okay.
You know?
Well, maybe you're not surprised, but I'm surprised. And I think a lot of people are surprised. So I want to know, are you surprised? Are you surprised that you're out here campaigning for a Democrat, campaigning for Kamala Harris against the party that you've been a part of your entire life?
You know, what I would say, first of all, is we all know, everyone who watched January 6th knows, you know, what Donald Trump is willing to do. He lost the election. He tried to overturn the election. He tried to overturn television. He watched it. People pleaded with him to tell the mob to leave, and he wouldn't. And he watched law enforcement officers be brutally beaten. He watched it. That's a depravity that, to me, and you know, I think to anyone who's taken the oath of office, makes someone absolutely unfit ever to be president again. Now, I could have just said, you know, I'm going to do everything I can to work against Donald Trump. And there are a lot of Republicans who have said that. I have decided, and I am very proud and I'm honored to have made the decision